There was a time when discipline felt dramatic. Every good decision felt intentional. Every avoided mistake felt like a victory. Every month that went right felt like proof that you were changing. Discipline felt active. It felt visible. It felt brave. But as stability settles in, something quietly shifts. Discipline stops feeling like a conscious choice. It stops feeling effortful. It stops announcing itself. And instead, it becomes automatic. That transition can feel unsettling if you're not expecting it. Because when discipline no longer feels deliberate, you might start wondering whether it still matters at all. In the beginning, discipline demands attention. You have to think through every decision. You rehearse the reasons. You remind yourself what's at stake. Each choice feels weighted. Each restraint feels earned. That phase is exhausting, but it's also validating because effort feels meaningful. You can feel yourself changing. Then, gradually, something changes. You don't debate every purchase anymore. You don't need to justify every decision. You don't feel the same internal friction. You just act. The budget is followed without drama. The pause happens without effort. The right choice feels obvious. And instead of relief, many people feel something else entirely: unease. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We often associate meaning with effort. When something requires struggle, it feels important. When something becomes easy, it starts to feel ordinary. So when discipline becomes automatic, it can feel hollow. You might catch yourself thinking, shouldn't this feel harder? Am I still being intentional? Am I just going through the motions now? Those thoughts aren't a sign of regression. They're a sign that your identity has shifted faster than your expectations. This distinction matters. Automatic discipline is not lazy discipline. It's trained discipline. It's the result of hundreds of earlier decisions made consciously when it did feel hard. You didn't lose discipline, you internalized it. Just like learning to drive, you no longer think about every movement. But that doesn't mean you stopped paying attention. It means the skill became part of you. When discipline becomes automatic, a new temptation appears. Not rebellion, not recklessness, restlessness. The urge to disrupt what's working. The urge to feel progress again. The urge to introduce change simply to escape boredom. This is where many people undo good work. Not because they want to fail, but because they want stimulation. Stability can feel strangely uncomfortable to someone who's spent years surviving. Struggle keeps you alert. Boredom makes you careless. When things are hard, you stay engaged. When things are calm, you start questioning the calm. You look for upgrades that aren't needed, changes that aren't timed, risks that aren't justified. Not because something is wrong, but because nothing feels urgent anymore. That's a dangerous moment if you don't recognize it. Maturity isn't making better decisions. It's continuing to make the same good decisions without needing the emotional payoff. It's showing up even when nothing feels at stake. It's trusting systems even when they feel unremarkable. That kind of discipline doesn't look impressive, but it's the kind that lasts. This is where faith quietly changes shape. Early on, faith feels like rescue. Later, it feels like trust. Trusting that obedience still matters, even when it feels routine. Trusting that faithfulness counts, even when there's no visible reward. Doing the right thing without needing it to feel special. That's not a lesser faith. That's a deeper one. You don't need discipline to feel heroic anymore. You don't need it to feel heavy. You don't need it to feel visible. If discipline feels automatic, it means it has become part of who you are. And that's not something to fix. That's the destination most people never reach. If discipline feels quieter than it used to, that doesn't mean it's fading. It means it's no longer fighting you. And that's not a loss. It's proof that the work is holding. I'm JP, and I'll see you in the next one.